Have they got any matchups for you?
No, nothing exciting just yet.
Nothing confirmed.
We're working on it. We're working on it. I think it's more for me. I'm more the picky one where it's like, if I'm going to be doing this, I don't know. I seem to be getting the vibe everyone's going on doing like the begging misfits to sort. Oh, please, I want to get on. I'm like, listen, you got loads of neeks fighting. I'm a big name. Like, put me up against someone. I'm not going to be that guy that's going on calling out fucking, I want Joe Weller. I want KSI. Allow it. Let me smoke people and get my way there.
Yeah.
And you have to earn that, you know.
And do it properly. Not just jump into like a big fight for no reason.
Yeah.
Because some of these are 3-4 fights in deep already, some of these guys.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah, the hustle. Everyone's got to call out the big names because you want the big money, you want the big fights. But like, humble. You can be humble. I think people forget a balance between like humble and arrogant. You can back yourself, but be humble at the same time. And yeah, it's all a bit wet. Isn't it? It's all a bit fucking wet. And that's coming from a kid from Watford. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
AJ's coming from Watford though, man. So there's some big names from there.
Don't get me started about AJ.
We'll get into it anyway, man. People, welcome to the Curious Fijian. I'm your host, Fijian.
I'm the co-host, Ray.
And we got Diego Day with us, man. Thank you for coming down and doing this. We see what you're doing. You're trying to change people's lives for the better. I love what you're about. Obviously, when we done the interview before, I said to you then, hopefully get you on, because just your whole persona and what you talk about is very different to what people sort of perceive you online, like very different. So I just wanted to sort of get to know you a bit more, talk about your journey, how you got to where you got to. What was life like growing up for you?
Yeah, so off the top of what you said, for sure I'm trying to change slowly the perspective. The problem is with social media is people need to be spoon-fed because they don't understand things, and people are so easily manipulated. So whatever you put out there, they'll consume without questioning it. So I have to physically spoon feed people the message behind everything I'm doing, because people are seeing one thing and putting 2 and 2 together and getting 7. When the reality is, as a man who's very good at talking to ladies, there's actually a man that's a very good communicator, which is a man that's very confident, who's had a journey to mold himself to be that guy. So there's stuff behind it. Intelligent people will see that. Less receptive people might not. To answer your question,
So
less
true,
receptive.
though,
That was nice. That was probably
Just quickly, just to dive into that quickly, it's that social media generation though, man. Like, you see it with a lot of other people's messages, and then the person who puts the message out gets the blame for it, of why people took it this way and why someone took it that way. So is that why, are you very careful with what you say and what you do?
I don't think I'm very careful. I think the more I've produced and posted, the more I've understood the influence I've had, because kids have come up to me. Now, lucky with me, it's all been positive, because I haven't ever posted anything red pill. Even though I have red pill opinions, I also have blue pill opinions. Well, I don't really, but let's just pretend I do for the ladies out there. But I've understood more the influence I have, so I've understood the effect I can have if I don't put things into context. There is a danger to it. And there are some people on the internet, no names need to be mentioned, that don't really give a fuck about them people. I would like to think I'm a caring person, so I know that I have to be a bit more, as I say, caring towards the unreceptive people that need to understand a bit more what the message is.
Yeah. And then what was life like growing up for you?
I want to say like pretty normal. I want to say normal. I was very
normal.
What the fuck is normal, bro? Normal in my world is like pretty there, because my life's crazy now, but I bring that upon myself. I love crazy. I love the vibe and the energy of crazy. Weird and crazy are like positive vocabulary, and the same as like amazing. How's your day? Crazy. Someone might look at that and be like, fuck. I'll be like, that's like amazing. Yeah, I was very lucky. I had a very, very good balanced upbringing with good role models to learn things off, but also giving me opportunities to learn things myself, because the thing with parents and people in an upper generation to us growing up is they come from a different world, they come from a different lifestyle, they don't understand certain things. So it's very much take everything with a pinch of salt, learn what you can learn off of some people and implement yourself into your life. Some ways. As a kid, I grew up. I played lots of sport. I don't remember a lot about my childhood.
Yeah.
It's weird you say that because I don't.
A lot of people do,
back, you know.
and you have them people. Who be, I remember that time in the zoo when I was free. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? When I was free, I was just playing around my ball sacks and pretending I could fucking fight the lions. Do you know what I mean? Like crazy.
Probably because everything's so fast paced for you now as well. So to sit back and think, because everything's 100.
100%. Life in the last 4 years for me has been fucking insane. So I've definitely forgot more, but also I think subconsciously, I'm very, very proud of the man that I've self-molded and become, that maybe I don't need to think about the kid so much that was built up by society, that I'm probably not as proud of. Not that I was doing anything. I wasn't a good role model. I wasn't a great person. I was always good at heart. I always tried to do the right thing. I never did the right thing.
But that's what shaped you.
Yeah, correct.
So
but
it's like you can look at it as a negative or a positive at
Correct.
the same light. That's the weird thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe because I was quite a boring childhood, but I think I had a good childhood. So.
Yeah, was you always like confident, speaking to a lot of people?
I was always outgoing,
Yeah.
extroverted as we'd call it. Yeah, I always put myself about, talk to a lot of people, talk to a lot of girls. I was friendly with people, and I'd say that was definitely perceived in younger life as more irritating and annoying.
Yeah.
And now it's perceived as more skillful and kind, I suppose.
Yeah, because they were back in the days when you'd go knock for your friend.
Yeah.
Oh, is he in today? Oh, nah. All right. When he gets home, tell him I'll come back later. Not like just calling
down the
someone.
shops on
It's
the
like we've
car.
lost this whole way of
Life's crazy. Yeah.
communicating. What was the norm is now not the norm.
Yeah, and there were massive benefits. Listen, no one can argue with the benefits that technology has in the world. But the danger that comes with it, as I said, we're too manipulated. Too easily manipulated. So that's the problem that comes with social media. I miss the days where things were very simple, and it was just me at football, walking up to the park. Parents trusted me quite young, so everything was just, I was outside.
Yeah.
And even when PS4s were a thing, of course, all my friends had a PS4. I'm like, yeah, can I have a? But even the one time my dad would give it, he'd be like, bro, you can have this one. You can have a fucking DS, or you can have a new phone. I wouldn't use it. I wasn't really interested, so I was always outside. And that's what I loved about my family. We weren't an uncomfortable family. We weren't struggling in any way. But I never had the new gadgets. I never had the stuff my friends had, and I was never into gaming.
Yeah.
It's the one thing I'm most thankful for my dad, that he understood that gaming was no good, and I was in the era where gaming was becoming. So everyone was like, literally every week there was a new something coming out because it was all being released. It's not like now where people are just on the same 4 games, Fortnite, Call of Duty, FIFA, and whatever. It was like there was a new something coming out all the time, and I was just kept away from it. I wasn't interested.
Yeah. That's the best thing as well. Because now you're not sort of resorting back to them old ways of like, oh, do you know what? Tonight I might just sit in and play Call of Duty for 3 hours. There's other stuff that needs to sort of be done.
I don't know who's still doing that anyway.
But you know, like, because
You'd be so surprised, bro. And the thing is, what do you do for work?
paint or decorator site.
It's a weird one. It's a weird one because I can't believe that I've grown so much, and I'm looking back at life, and there are still normal people doing normal shit and just doing the. People are still gaming, like big guys, big men.
It's like, what are you doing? Where are you going? What do you want? What do you want?
Yeah.
It's like a filler, isn't it? It's escape. What are you escaping? That's how I look at it. You play a game and it's like, what are we really doing?
Yeah, I get it, but so's everything. Like literally everything.
Yeah.
And I'm hard on the fact that you have to live a reality that you don't want to escape from, and I can preach that. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't game, I don't do anything that takes me away from it. And literally, when I want, very rarely, a relaxing and quality time, I'll go to the spa to recuperate my body, or I'll spend like time with my family. I'll play chess with my dad, I'll play chess with my brother, or I'll play board games, I'll play Monopoly with the family, communicate, speak, because I'm working on my phone all day. I don't need to be scrolling through TikTok. And it's the one thing that no one would expect from someone like me with a job. I don't look at TikTok. I go on there, I post, and I'm off.
It's a tool.
100%. And I've utilized it to the best way. Of course, it took me some time to get there. 2 years ago I was posting and then accidentally catching myself scrolling 20. Oh shit, I need to post on Instagram and this that. But now it's on, post, off. I even have people posting for me. So I
Have
don't
you never
to
drunk at
look
all?
Nah,
younger
I've drunk
days?
before in my life. I would say I've never been like crazy
Hardcore.
drunk.
Yeah.
Again, maybe something that's great and that I've worked towards, but also maybe something that I was quite lucky. I never enjoyed it. I never liked it. I never liked drunk people. I find them annoying as fuck. I think they're pathetic. There's not like one thing. The thing is that when people try and justify drinking, it's one of the factual things I can bring about life. There is no argument a single person can give me towards drinking. It is bottom line, no benefits, zero. And it's funny that, see, I don't talk about my religious views too much because it's very complicated. However, it's funny how if you look at all the religions, one thing that I have in common is they all protest against drinking. And there are a lot of morals to be implemented, whether you want to look at Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, flipping Judaism, Buddhism, whatever you want to. I missed out one, Sikhism. Yeah?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Six, right? Six religions.
Yeah. Sikh and
Hare
Hindu.
Krishna.
Sikhs and Hindus they're not the same.
Poor from you. So
Religion,
poor
are
from
they?
you. That's crazy. Ugh.
Lucky we're too small to get cancelled here anyway. Hey, we can still have them views in a minute. We're too small to get
And
cancelled.
now, until I repost it. Yeah, but within all of them, I think the one thing that people forget when there's such a war over religion, I mean, a societistical war as well as real wars, is that there's a lot of lessons to be taken. I actually read religious books as normal books to gain intelligence, because further than anything, they're stories about the past, about life, about A, B, and C. So
History will be the teacher, innit? Human beings, we haven't changed.
yeah.
Are you a big reader?
I'm terrible at reading, so it's something I push myself to do.
Yeah.
I've always been a very, very shit reader. I let that be an excuse. I let that be the reason that I stopped reading, that I purposely, subconsciously struggled to read. And then, as we do, it became like a self, oh, I don't want to read, I'm shit at reading. And then it was last year, I was like, what the fuck am I scared of? Words in a piece of paper.
Force yourself to do it.
So now I do a certain amount of time a day. Honestly, I struggle to concentrate sometimes. I get completely lost in what's going on. A lot of the time I read the words and don't process anything. So I have a rule that even if I don't read anything, I have to sit there and just look at the fucking pages.
You know what's helped me doing that is audiobook as well.
But I feel
know
like
it's
that's a
hard.
cheat.
But reading it at the same time.
And listening and reading.
It's sort of like someone's
100%.
Someone's like reading it to you, sort of
only
feels
on
like.
main books, I still think you should read. Because I'm like you, my head just like, if I'm not in the zone, my head would just start like drifting off. But I felt like when I was doing it with audio, only with books that needed to be studied, the audio book just helped it. It's like double scan.
Nah,
and I'm
it makes
processing
sense.
it as well, yeah.
Makes sense.
Kept me on like a path.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
When did you
Try
start
it.
your content creation?
Nearly 3 years ago now.
3 years ago.
Yeah, two and a half, 3. Yeah.
why did you start it?
So I was working. I actually started up a couple of my own businesses. I was doing really well for myself, and I started a job that I found out very intelligently how to earn quite a bit of money and work not so many hours. So I had time to invest. I went to Mexico to carry on working because I was working online. I was living a life. I was chilling. I'm talking 19 years old, and I've already feel like I've cracked the code. So instead of me subconsciously, I was like proper grafting it before that. So I just shortened my whole life into one. I was like, I've been grafting for 3 years. Now it's my time to work 3 hours and retire. And I'm like, wait, no, you're 19, bro, chill out. So I was working like 3-4 hours a day, living in Mexico, parties, whatever, do what the fuck I want. And then some people were recording content as well. So I was like, okay, let me drop on. I got the spare time, did it. Went well, obviously, because here we are today. And it made sense, you know. I had the energy to implement onto the camera. I was doing public interviews. I'm not essentially proud of the content I was doing originally. It was very cringy, like what was banging views. And then I found my niche. I ran it. It was amazing. And here we are.
What was the journey like finding your niche? Because everyone that sort of does content creation, we did get a lot of questions about it. Like, How did you actually go about finding your niche? Because you've turned yourself into a full brand, and I don't think someone can really do that by accident. I think you have to know what you're
being
doing.
successful before that as well. You obviously had, you knew something.
He knows a little something. He does. Playing chess in his free time, he knows something. This is for you as well, by the way. If you
top man, cheers, bro. It's funny you say that. So no, it was actually every bit of my content journey has. Okay, no, the first bit of my content journey was, I don't believe in luck, was coincidental, fortunate, whatever you want to fucking say. So I made a video, which was a public interview, and I was spending a bit of time with this girl on the day, and we was just mad bouncing off each other, flirting. So we dropped in a video, asked her a couple questions, and it just ended up with me kind of flirting and rizzing the fuck out of her. And then, as TikTok does, when I pushed the video, it got 26 million views, and that was me labeled as the Riz God. So from then, I was like, okay, I'm gonna change my style. And then what a lot of people do, a lot of creators will last not even a year. You'll see a lot of creators popping off at 3 months. If I ask you about some creators, you'll be like, oh, I remember that guy, he was blowing off on TikTok at this, and then they're done. I've been popping off, like doing numbers for 3 years straight. There's not been a single week where I haven't banged over like millions of views in the 3 years. And that's due to consistency, but also I understood when my content was going to start dropping off before it dropped off. I got the vibe, and I always knew how to evolve and elevate my content in a different way, in a refreshing way, because there's only so many baddies that you can go and chat to. So towards the end, it got a bit.
But how did you know when this was going to happen? Was you looking at analytics? Was it just a feeling?
Yeah, maybe it was just a feeling. And as well, you kind of have friends around you, and you just get the vibe of everything. And the first thing is you can't be in denial. And this goes as a person as well as a content creator. You got to be realistic with yourself. Everyone's like, I've got this idea, it's amazing, it's going to do, and then it won't do amazing. And they're like, no, it's the best idea. Bro, you can have a great idea and it might not do well. There's ways, this isn't about, it's not you against like someone. You have to work with the apps. You have to work with the algorithms to do it, because at the end of the day, it's a job for some people. Now, luckily, I've made streams of incomes in other ways. However, for some people, content is their job, and they're trying to like fight the apps. No, this is my content. It's gonna bang. And it doesn't, because it's shit. But they want to admit it because they're so proud and they love the content so much.
You get attached.
Yeah, you got to be realistic with yourself. You've got to know that even if you got a great idea, that might be in your head and it might not be in someone else's. So I was very good with that, and always kind of giving the people what they wanted.
What about the planning of the videos? Would you plan you see some people script a full video. Would you do that? Would you sort of just go off the dome and just try and do it?
Yeah, all my videos were super authentic and organic. I will say that, like in the history of my 3 years posting more than once a day, I've scripted like 5-6 videos where I've just been like to the girl, just say this, spice it up a bit. But all my viral videos have been authentic, have been off the dome and just speaking. But that's where I can implement my personality. I always knew that was my strong point. So I could go in the street and talk about popcorn, and I get a viral video somehow. I don't know how I do it, but I'd find a way.
Yeah, you've just got that energy.
Yeah,
warm
energy,
funny.
Think outside the box. There are a million people. The two ways to blow on social media, you've got to do the same thing as everyone else is doing, but you got to be the best, or you got to do a completely new concept and be creative and outside the box. They're your two ways. And to be the best at something that's already been done by someone or created by someone is very hard. I kind of did both because like Riz was a thing before, but also I was kind of the first person to probably bring it to the UK, I'd say. And then I was also the fucking best there. So
yeah, it's one of them things. It sort of the Riz sort of goes in cycles. You'll see people like the public interviews sort of go in cycles. To be fair, so I remember when KSI first blew off, it was like the Q&As outside and stuff like that. Then it sort of disappeared a little bit, blew up again, disappeared a little bit, blew up again. But you always seem like you're trying to reinvent yourself. Like you said, because it sort of feels like you're pushing away from that sort of message now. Like you've just changed the course, Quantum Rizzix, you change it to the truth. Like it feels like you're trying to push your message in a different sort of way.
Because I'm learning, and it's important for me that people understand not only am I coaching people and teaching people how to go on this journey, but I'm also going on a journey. Yes, it's levels above of what they've done. I'm not going to try and act super humble. I've experienced the shitloads. I've learned the shitloads, but that came with me accepting a lot about myself. Like I accepted a lot about myself as a man, which is very hard to do because we're so proud. But internally I accepted a lot, and that gave me kind of power and fire to fuel what I'm doing. But yeah, it's more for what I'd say it's more finding my purpose within this, and chatting to girls is brilliant, but there's a difference between having a phase of chatting to girls and just being the guy who just visits girls. And I didn't want to be that. I have aspirations for a family and a beautiful wife, and I think that's the purpose of every man, to provide and care for a family. And to do that, I might need to stop
being the risk.
Yeah.
Pass
the torch down to someone, man.
Imagine if only my little brother was about it, man. I've put him on. No, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. You have to have a certain character to run what I did. And people see it and I would do that, and then they do it and they very quickly realize it's not all this crap.
It's hard. Yeah, it's not anyone, like you could teach someone confidence, but not anyone could. Almost like even going up to a girl in a club and trying to speak to her, it's still a bit of like a fucking hell. And that's when people are drunk, let alone being sober, walking up to someone on the street. Like that's an immense level of confidence, like you said. But security. I feel like content creation is that. Now you look at it, it's someone's journey within themselves, and they're sort of moving through life, and then the audience goes through life with them and sort of follows them in their way. If you look at all people's content creation, it moves with what they're doing. Has it been important for your life? Like, have you learned a lot through it? Lessons you've taken out into everyday life?
Yeah, I'd say it's the other way around. I've learned more lessons in everyday life. There's a business behind social media, which obviously we don't think about so much because it's all about views and this, but there's a business behind it. And I'm always looking at things and seeing what I can learn. And that's where I feel like I really strive as a person. If I'm in a situation, I'm always observing of how I can learn rather than being too ignorant to see that there's stuff to be learned. And that means you don't grow. So I'd say I've learned a lot in life and then implemented it into my social media. Hence why I'm now finding that purpose is so important in what you're doing. And my purpose isn't to go around chatting to girls. I would like to show guys that it's possible, but I feel like that will start with self-development. And a lot of guys will be like, bro, what's your trick? Like, what's your line? You can go to every girl and say, wow, your eyes are beautiful. But if you just go to a girl and go, your eyes are beautiful, nine times out of 10, they're going to walk off. There's a style, there's a way, and it all starts with your energy and your charisma and who you are as a person. And that's all self-development. It's crazy. The psychology behind it is crazy because I studied it myself. And I realized sometimes my shit was working better than other days. Why was it? And I self-analyze a lot. So, if I was to like map out the psychology that it takes to actually go from A to B and have a full-on conversation with that girl, you'd be like, what the fuck? Yeah. I thought it was just walking and saying, well, go on. But there's a lot of shit that goes into it.
Does speaking to girls and business correlate the way, the sort of tricks you're using, the way you're speaking to people?
It's all self-development. And self-respect, self-confidence, self-value, it all goes around in a kind of a cycle of implementation. I call the cycle, it starts with an understanding. You understand whatever it is you need to understand first, which involves being honest with yourself. And then it comes with a foundation phase where you build, you plan, you structure. It takes a lot of what you understand about yourself. You take a lot of accountability and form some kind of plan to achieve whatever goal it is. You take the action to achieve whatever goal you need to achieve, talking to the girl, lifting this weight in the gym, blah, blah, blah. And then you have a reaction to whatever it is, which means you take accountability, you learn. And if you repeat that cycle, you just understand, build foundations, action and reaction, then, as I say, it's that cycle of self-value, self-confidence and just growth.
And do you think you could take that, now you have that formula, you sort of have a formula, do you think you could take it into any job, any business, anything?
Anything you want to do.
It's universal.
Anything you want to do. And the biggest thing that people miss out is the understanding and the foundation, which means, as we all know, if you don't build a strong foundation for something, the legs are more likely to snap off, to break, to not function. You got to think about it as building that pyramid. So a lot of the time we act on things when we don't understand why it is we really need to act on it. So the first thing I'd say with guys is we're so in denial and we're not honest with ourselves at all. We need to like jump down our own throats and really see what's going on inside and how far off we are of our potential and what we're doing and how comfortable we are as people.
What do you think the problem is with males now coming up? This, I'd say, it's our generation of male. Our generation of society. Yeah, the snowflake generation.
Yeah, I could be here all day. Of course, there's a lot that starts with social media. I'd say lack of self-accountability is the main thing. And it's only since I switched onto it, which is crazy. When you switch on to how many excuses are made and how little responsibility is ever taken, what's your first instinct to when you're late for something? Like, and you're telling someone
An excuse.
anything.
Yeah.
You literally walking up. Oh, what was it? There was traffic. There was this. There was that. Who actually just comes and says, "I was late. My bad."
Yeah, I fucked up.
No one ever. No one's ever been late in their life and said, "I was late. I should," or even better, "I was late. I was unprepared. I was unorganized, and I should have left 10 minutes early in case there was anything going on." Never. It's always, "I'm late. There was traffic. There was this. There was that." There's always an excuse, and even an apology to, "Sorry, I understand that I did this, but you did this." No one's ever just there, fully vulnerable, because we're scared. We're scared of being wrong. We're scared of taking accountability. And I always say to people, one of my most fucked up mindsets is, you should be responsible for every single thing that happens in your life, even if it's not self-inflicted, even if it's completely on a human level inflicted by someone else. Find a way to take responsibility for it. And I'm talking about if a drunk guy runs behind you in the road and punches you, find a way to take responsibility for it.
Yeah.
Because you will find a way if you actually want to, and if you want to learn from it. And again, that sounds crazy, because like, what the fuck am I meant to do? It's a drunk guy trying to, I don't know. Can you work harder so you're not walking around the streets and you got a driver instead that's driving you around everywhere? I don't know. Is there more precautions you can take to be walking in a nicer part of an area? I don't know. Sounds stupid, but there's always things we can do and always ways we can be responsible, because the reality is, the more successful we are, the more intelligent we are, the more money we make, the less hassle we can have in our lives. So
Obviously, you work with a lot of, I'd say, people struggling. They're struggling to find purpose. They're struggling, maybe not taking self-accountability. They're sort of maybe in that bracket, looking to level themselves up. So obviously, you see firsthand how much everyone is struggling. Like, I even see it. I'm not in your situation. I'm not helping anyone, but I even see it where I'm like, the world feels like it's struggling right now. How do you think we come sort of back from this?
So it's funny you say that, because I actually only see the people that are struggling, but they've taken the first step. Because to actually be in a situation where you're speaking to me, you have to have taken some sort of self accountability. You might still be in denial about a lot of things, but you've taken enough accountability to invest some money into a course that's going to help you. Right? So I'm not even sitting there being like, guys, it's the best course, it's going to change your life. Yay, you get a promo code. And if I'm not that guy, you want to invest your money, you're going to get some returns. But investing your money is also a step to admitting that you have a problem. So if you're not ready to admit that you have a problem and you're just like, I wanted to pay the money to check what it was about and get some extra. No, invest the money, because you're accountable for what you're doing. And so I'm only dealing with people that have kind of taken a level of self-accountability, but the bottom tier people are the people that are in denial. And often there'll be people that you wouldn't imagine it to be, because they're acting like they've got all their shit together because they haven't taken self-accountability. So it's crazy. The solution to that is probably what I've been saying the whole time. People need to actually look more internally and less externally. We're so focused on what's going on around us, because there is a lot going on around us, a lot of distractions, a lot of social media, a lot of this and a lot of that, and a lot of problems and a lot of situations, that we so often struggle to see that the core of everything is within ourselves, within our core, within our brain, within our heart, within our stomach, our gut, whatever it is. But we can fix most of our external problems internally, because everything that happens around us comes from inside.
Yeah.
So I think that's for me, maybe that's the biggest problem. Makes sense.
It does, because and then you
Powerful.
and then you go down the route of like, and I did have it written down as well. It's like, because there feels like, so it's not only with men struggling, it's like there feels like there's a war between men and women and gender roles, and she should do this and I should do this and she shouldn't do this and I should do this. Where has this all sort of come from? Because it only feels like it's been properly in everyone's face in like the last 2 years.
It's all government controlled. It's all government controlled.
The Matrix.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course it is. If you don't think that people are laughing at us right now for doing what we do, and I include myself, this is what a lot of people don't understand. You have to be an incredibly financially free person to escape the Matrix, but bit by bit, there are certain things you can escape, and it's as simple as this: the more money you have, the more freedom you have, the more you can avoid the Matrix. Could I look at my life realistically and say I'm ever going to be outside of it? I don't know. As I say, it's a lot of fucking money, and I don't actually have aspirations to have that kind of money, because I don't think, I think there's a level of money where it's like, great, now what?
Yeah.
It's like all of that is noise.
Bro, literally, you see these rappers with like 26 cars in their drive. It's like, okay, like, now what? Like, your mum's still, driving a Nissan. Yeah.
So no, eventually
Someone will try and take the cars off of you, like whether it's.
So yeah, it's all government inflicted, and essentially, what's been happening in the last 3 years is, as we gain all this knowledge and information, the 1% of people and the 99% of people are getting a bit more split apart. But the 1% still aren't over the Matrix, but they're coming towards the Matrix and understanding it, and they're giving knowledge to the 99% of people. The problem is the 99% of people are super poor, super tired because they're working long hours for shit pay. They got so many troubles with inflation, money, family. They can't house their family, and shit's going on. So they're angrier than ever, looking for someone to blame because we can't take self-responsibility or self-accountability. So they're looking at the government if they can. And the government's just like, oh, you're angry at us? You want to divert attention to us? Okay. Let me make transgenders people a thing, and then you can argue amongst yourselves for a bit.
Yeah.
Let me give men the option to cut off their dicks and just argue with them guys for a bit, and then we will argue with each other. Let me drop a bomb in fucking in Gaza, and you guys can argue for a bit. If you don't think that war is completely government controlled, and wanted,
I think I do. But there's a lot of people, and we had this argument the other day with people, and I was like, I didn't realise how bad it was, because I'm telling you, we were the 2%. There must have been 20-something people then. 2 of us thought this way, and the rest was like, "You're fucking crazy."
Of course, they're gonna call you.
Why would they do that to us? Why would they do? That's what they said. Why would they do that to us?
They're literally, bro, I don't know where. They have a camera somewhere in this room. They probably have access to this.
Yeah,
one
no, 100%.
Someone's literally sitting there and just jerking off to fucking.
Are they in denial, or do they just not want to know like the truth? Do you think they subconsciously think it, or do you reckon their mind's just not open to it at all?
No, they're completely blind. I've said this actually in the last 3, I think, podcasts or situations I've done. The one thing I wish that would make this world a completely better place is if we were born with our eyes closed physically. Because psychologically we're born with our eyes closed until we actually make a psychological decision to open them, which a lot of adults don't. It's not like you turn 5 years old and the world would be a better place if physically we were born with our eyes closed, and then psychologically we had to do something or make a decision to open them and start questioning things we see, and asking questions why to when we do things, because we just get on with things. We like
don't ask enough why, though. From a young age, like, especially as the older you get, it's frowned upon to ask why, but it's not an issue. You should question. I think you should question everything. Like, if I have kids, they need to question every single thing and ask themselves and understand things, because again, we're human beings. Throughout history, you can see lies. There's been lies on lies and lies. Why, when something happens now, we think, oh no, they're going to save us?
Bro, I'll give you an example off the top of my head.
We don't know these people.
When we were kids, what our parents always tell us: breakfast what? Breakfast the most
important meal of the day.
It's not.
Why?
It's the meal it's the one meal that you do not need.
Yeah.
morning fasting, it changed my fucking life.
How long
changed my fucking life. So I mean, probably about 3 years now, and I eat first meal at 1 o'clock. But working in the morning, starving hungry, working out in the morning, starving hungry, getting all my shit done, it's fucking amazing. And as soon as when I used to eat at 6 a.m. when I woke up, straight away, 9 a.m. I'm hungry. When you fast, it gets to about
Your blood sugar's on levels.
yeah.
controlled.
Also, we're also used to eating fucking cereal when we grow up, right? Cereal's the breakfast culture in London or whatever. Cereal's full of shit
Pops.
and sugar. It's just full of shit. There are some cereals that have good fibers in that we need, but
I
most
just don't
fibers you
think
can get from
But
beans.
most people are not getting that. Like the
most
average
people just-
family are getting like Cocoa Pops or something like
because
that.
they just, their eyes are closed. No,
But it's so mad. Yeah. You're sending your kid with
I don't know what they're doing, bro.
You're sending your kid to school with a sugar spike like cocaine, and then they're dropping off at like 10.
And then they'll say, well, no, that kid must have ADHD.
ADHD.
No, the kid is fucking a kid. It's the E numbers. Kid's got E numbers.
Yeah.
The world is a crazy. When you dig deep, it is a scary thing to think of.
Listen, I'm not even advocating to question why, because I actually question if the people are happy are just being content in the matrix. But for me, I'm an aspirational person. I want more. If I fail doing so, I can give a great example. My dad's an incredibly content person. He's worked a 9 to 5 all his life. He's made decent money. He sits at home. He watches EastEnders. He watches Coronation Street. He has his dinner. He eats his cereal in the morning and he goes to sleep at night.
Yeah.
You know, with his house, his kids, and his wife in a traditional way. He's content. You know, he drives a shit car, lives a comfortable life. I don't know.
That always baffles me, that one, when people say it. They say they're content. It's just like, but are they content? Are they not content? It's such a weird balance, isn't it? Because like you, I'm aspirational. I want to like achieve greatness. But then again, you got these people just living this same. It's like a system. But then, are they enjoying the system?
Are they laughing at us?
That's what I mean.
The only thing is they don't know. They don't
Yeah, that's the
understand.
difference, yeah.
The difference is we
But then
understand
again,
both
sometimes
worlds.
I think, should I know?
Yeah. Maybe it's better if we don't.
Yeah, I do.
Sometimes like, knowing too much, I'm just like, I shouldn't be thinking about all this stuff.
So when we deep this well, and this is, I'm gonna bring it upon myself with in terms of religious thought. When I ask all these questions about the world, it is crazy because it is like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? So it's what one thing that's guaranteed in this world, that everything does have a meaning to it, and this world cannot exist without meaning, which brings in religion and other worlds and other lives and whatever. Man, shit's crazy. I don't even want to. Shit's crazy.
No, but it's true though, because I go down them rabbit holes of my own and I scare myself at night, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, and I said to him, no, but I.
Can you come in and
No,
tuck me in?
honestly, yeah, tuck me in. I'm scared, man. No, honestly, I do sit there sometimes at night and think, what the fuck are we? What is this? What is? And then I sort of just go. My mind spirals after that, and then it's sort of. But obviously, I haven't really found religion. But for some reason, over the last 2 years, I've been really interested in all different types of religion and looking more into it. Because I said this to people, and I'm gonna say it as well. And I think that over the last 2 years, if anything were to push me to religion, I've seen more evilness in the world that could be viewed as satanic, devilish, however. It's just evilness in the world, and I'm like, something's not right, and that's just a feeling I have where I'm like, something is not right, and it's obviously pushed me towards questioning religion and seeking that sort of thing. Do you have them sort of feelings?
You don't want to know my feelings. I'm gonna put you in a rabbit hole for life. You're gonna be looking, Diego, get me out of it. Nope, you're in there, bro. Yeah, if I start looking at the stars, game's over, man. Fuck, my head's gone. I'm like, what?
But I understand religion. It's a way of life, isn't it? I understand why people go towards religion. It's simplistic. You follow a way.
But again, a lot of people that are following a religion are doing it in a matrix-inflicted way. They're doing it because of where they're from, right?
Yeah,
if you look across the world,
by default,
and it's hilarious that they're having wars about it. Because, like, bro, you understand you're fighting for a religion that, if you were born like 20 miles that way, you'd be a Christian, or you'd be a Jew, or you'd be a Muslim, or you'd be a Hindu, or a fucking Sikh, or Buddhist. I have to go through all of them when I name 2 or 3. I'm big enough to get. Oh, I fucking got cramp. I'm big enough to get cancelled.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I'm worried.
I'm big enough to get cramp as well. Fuck me. Oh.
Obviously,
electrolytes.
Don't get this man started on electrolytes. Mate. Obviously, you've been around everywhere. You've been
What
to-
does that mean? Fucking hell.
You got to let me land the plane sometimes. Obviously,
Have you been speaking to my clinician?
You've been around everywhere, like country to country. You visited a lot of countries. Is their way of living? Is like the West just a bad way of living compared to other countries? Like, could you ignore the noise in other countries, like a Thailand or something like that?
Everyone wants what they don't have, and there's certain things in Western countries that's completely fucked. I say the easiest way to describe it is the corruption that poor countries have on a street level. We have the same thing just on a governmental level, which is maybe worse. I, with money, prefer a policeman to come up to me, get a speeding ticket, and I can be like, bro, take $50, shut the fuck up, go take your wife to dinner. Not too bad, right? In England, I have to fill out shit tons of paperwork, get 3 points on my license, and beg a jury to not give me fucking driving suspension or some shit. So there's ways that it can work better. Yeah, again, it's something crazy. It's something crazy because they want our life and we want their lives. Everyone wants what they don't have. If you go to, when I say they, I'm speaking about Latin America purely. It's where I spent a lot of time in Latin America. And they want the security, the money, the structure that we have in our lives. But we want the freedom, the dancing, the drinking, the parties that they have in their life. But you got to realize a country and a society that drinks, parties, and does fucking nothing with their lives is going to be pretty poor. And a country that lives with structure and success and competition is going to be a bit more boring. So, you know, Latinas fucking come over here, get married to English guys, and we have our fun and freedom with them, and they have their money and structure with us. Man, I remember when I had an Argentinian girlfriend, and she was like, what did she say to me? She's like, we were having an argument one time, and I tried to advise her something. She's like, you're not my dad. Like, I want to have my freedom. I'm like, you don't get freedom in a relationship. It's not the point of a relationship. You get security, you get love, you get compassion, you get providing, and you get taken care of. She's like, I want freedom. I'm like, it's not how it works. So it's a big psychological difference.
Freedom in a relationship.
Yeah, so do I, mate.
Freedom anyway.
So do I, mate. Tell your best friend I'm hanging around.
Have you managed to deal with the attention and sort of the success well?
Yeah, paparazzi on my door a couple of days a week.
Can't go down the boxing gym alone.
It's hard life, man. Tesco is crazy. I'm usually getting arrested for in a balaclava in Tesco just because I have to. No, yeah, I'm alright with it. I love people coming and say hello. There are inappropriate times, man. Like, I know a lot of famous people that will always go to piss in the door closers. But man, I'm a urinal man for life. You know, it's convenient. So I'm in the urinal and there'll be a guy having a piss. No way, it's fucking Diego. I'm like, bro, let me just empty my bladder. People will ask for pictures in the toilet. It's crazy. And,
like no
and I'll
respect.
refuse. I'll be like, bro, come on, man. Like, come on, I'm not taking a picture of you in the toilet. And I skate as it looks like we've just been fucking bumming in here or something.
Yeah.
Taking
It's hella gay.
You're taking a post-scene shot. So 99% of the time, it's amazing. I love it. Guys try to be really funny and they're not, which is unfortunate because I'm really bad at fake laughing at people's shit. So people are like to me, oh my God, Rizmi. Like guys will come to me like, Rizmi, bro, you got such beautiful eyes. I'll be like, yeah, okay, man. Heard it 20 times today, but you're good, man. Like, effort was there. If people come to ask for pictures, I'm always down to give you pictures wherever you are. And as I say, I'm quite lucky where my content's quite positive and good, and everyone is kind of likes it. So I've had very positive reception from it.
What about like going out and that sort of stuff? Like when you was going out?
I never really have gone out to be famous.
No.
Famous? Oh my God, I just called myself famous. That was horrible. I'm not famous. I'm just the person who makes videos online. I'm trying to think of any bad experiences. I haven't really had any, to be fair.
Nah.
It's all good. I deal with it well. I'm a very respectful person. So if I tell someone like they've crossed the line, they're usually embarrassed enough to understand that they have crossed the line because I'm very like as I say, I'm very respectful there. And it's very much like, bro, you're taking the piss. There's drunk guys, which is the really bad one. And that's when I've been at some festivals sometimes, and drunk guys just come and jump on you, etc.
Just like to take this time to shout out our sponsors at Prime MMA. If you're looking to enhance your MMA skills and learn by one of the best coaches around, head over to Prime MMA now. It's as easy as clicking the link in their bio, selecting your class, selecting your purchase type, putting your email in, and then purchasing. With brilliant MMA and boxing fighters coming out of Prime, it's really the best time to start your MMA journey now. Head over to Prime MMA and let your mixed martial arts journey begin.
Getting all touchy.
Yeah, that's arm round you. There you go. Yeah, man. Yeah. How annoying is the most annoying thing?
Maybe I'm just a pussy, but guys are stronger than they think. They think they're just like putting their arm over me. Bitch has got me in a headlock. I'm like, bro, I'll take a picture of you. Just let me go. I'm like, fuck you, know, mate. Feel like Stephen Hawkins. Fuck me. I'm over to go.
Obviously, you got a new series out as well, Getting Coffee with Strangers. What made you start that, and how are you finding it?
Real shit, real conversations, something that means something. And I feel like I can grow it in a more inflicting way and have a better impact on the world and reach a bigger community as well. Something I feel like I was doing before is going for a minority of kids that wanted to fucking know how to chat to girls and all that. I've got so much more female reception from my videos, and I'd love to be a point of contact for everyone. And I'd love to, above all, even if I don't get to push a message out about anything to do with the Matrix, above all, I'd like to make the world a more bearable and better place for the time I'm here. And I say, if every day I can make someone smile in some way, I'm proud of myself. And maybe even bigger to me, my mum would be proud of me, which is maybe a bad thing that holds me back, but for me,
This means more than anything.
Really. Yeah, it fulfills me. I don't know. Maybe we should be focusing on ourselves more, because, you know, our mums are just there and then they won't be there at some point, or vice versa, or however the cookie crumbles. Maybe we should live for ourselves, but for me, it's quite important how my family looks at me.
Yeah. Was it ever annoying when, obviously, I suppose there would have been kids who was saying to you, oh, look, I just want to learn how to talk to girls so I could just go and shag this many girls, that many girls. Obviously, your message is more about personal growth. Did you ever get that? Would you find that a bit annoying? Or
I was telling him, bro, go do your thing. Yeah. I was giving him my clinic's number. Free test here, bro. Do your thing. I was sending the little young ones out to Colombia. I was like, yeah, as I said to you, some people understand it because they want to understand it. Some people won't understand it because they don't want to. And you can bring a horse to water, but you can't lick his balls, or whatever the saying does. Yeah, that one.
Lick his balls. Milk it. You can bring a horse to water. You can't milk it there, bro.
You can bring a horse to water, but you're not allowed to shag it.
Yeah. What's the biggest lessons you've learned throughout your whole journey? If you could take the top three that mean most, so if you had to start it all again, what's the three biggest things?
Three biggest things. I'll give you first one, then I'll see if I can get another two. World's a shit place. World's a dark place. World's not going to help you. You're on your own. Fucking deal with it. Stop being a bitch. Excuses make you much weaker as a person and hold you back extraordinarily from achieving what you can and should be achieving. Number three is that, discipline is more important than passion and motivation to succeed in your goals. That might not be number three. That's just a one in there. Discipline is way, way underrated. People think that motivation and passion and, yeah, I'm going to fucking do it tomorrow and it's going to be great and I'm going to put all my effort into it is enough. It's not. You have to do that every single day.
New year, new me.
Yeah. Crazy.
How do you stay dialed in for your mental health, spiritual? Like, how are you staying dialed in? What keeps you sane? What are you doing?
I'm always honest with myself. I'm always I'm not in any sort of denial. I surround myself with good energy. I never make excuses. I feel like all the psychological stuff that we do to make ourselves feel better makes ourselves feel worse. Take a break, take your time off.
It's the easy route.
Yeah.
The easy route to fuck you up, man.
Correct. And it goes back to the saying, anything worth anything is something about shagging a horse. anything worth having is difficult to get or something like that, you know, and anything that comes easy is probably doesn't mean much, probably doesn't mean anything. So usually it's short-term sacrifices for long-term success and vice versa. So I'm much of a more, and also, man, just living in the moment, doing everything in the moment, being present with your feelings, switching your head on, acknowledging people, talking to people, being present in the world. Don't walk around like a ghost. Don't just slip and slide in these places. When you're getting your morning coffee, talk to the woman that's serving you a coffee. 9 times out of 10, she probably ignores you, or he probably ignores you. Listen, I know what the fucking time is. Because they're so in denial that when you talk to people, a lot of people ignore you. Good morning, and they say nothing to you. Don't get hurt. Just talk to people. Be present and feel. And don't be a bitch, man. Be happy. Enjoy stuff. Enjoy the shit stuff as well.
You train a lot on that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on a new training program which has me in the gym 3 times a week, which is horrible because I've always gone 7 times a week and I've had a rest day. So I'm hating it. But I'm also in the boxing gym 6 days a week now, so I'm training.
Oh, so you're still getting your sessions in?
Yeah, I'm training 9 times a week.
Yeah, you probably need that rest.
Yeah, fucking, bro, I'm out of breath just speaking. Honestly, I've had about 3 coffees in the last hour.
What's your boxing journey been like so far? How are you finding it with the training, learning a new sort of skill set?
It's definitely woken my brain up again in a different aspect. It's amazing how my brain can be so awake, yet some part of it can be so asleep, and that's probably where I've stopped playing sport. You know, gym, we don't really test ourselves psychologically in terms of techniques, and yeah, there's bits here and there, but boxing, there's so much information coming in, and I'm so fucking happy I've awoken another part of my brain, and loads of learning to be done. I'm finding the journey amazing. I've got a good team around me, having shit tons of fun, working hard outside the comfort zone, bodies shattered, bodies in fucking pieces. I got the body of a 60-year-old man. I don't know who are the 60-year-olds on Misfits, so I might just fight Mams himself.
Yeah.
He'd probably have me, yeah.
Because I've seen you saying on your Instagram that you've been sort of feeling injuries you had back in the day that are sort of like coming back up. Neglected injuries, man.
But it's too much. Too much shagging, mate. That's the problem.
Hip injuries, man. I know your pain. Mine's not even from the shagging.
No, it is hip injuries. Dead ass though. So I had a hip injury and then it went to my back because my body had an imbalance, and I was coming back on it because I've literally did a session the other day that was all on fucking hip rotation. I was just throwing my right hip forward the whole time. Mate, as I say, body of an old man. I'll be retired with Wayne Lineker at O Beach. That'll be me. Shout out Wayne.
Have you obviously your gym's pretty, I'd say there's quite a few influencers fighting out there as well. You've got Raksu's brother. I want to say there's one more.
Raksu's brother.
Yeah, but that's what they were saying on the Misfits thing. They said it was Raksu's brother, Miles.
Yeah, they're not brothers, but they're in the same.
That's literally what they were saying. Mam's literally turned around. He goes, "Are they cousins?" Mam goes, "No, they're brothers." And I was like, "No, something's not right, man. They don't look like brothers."
Yeah, well, I mean, one's light skin with green eyes, one's fucking Cameroon, and
I was thinking maybe half brothers, something like that.
Yeah, next he's gonna start calling me his brother as well. Three of them are brothers.
Yeah, you go Raksu coming in there, man. But what's it been like training with them guys? Have you done much training with them?
Yeah, so they were in camp as I came back. I was in Mexico for a while, so I came back and they were in camp. So we were around the camp together. As I said, I went up to Leeds to support them. Really good energy, great guys, great people, great team. I don't know who the third one you're thinking of is.
I thought there was another guy who was training for Misfits.
Maybe training. I know Big Tobes has been down there a bit.
Has he? No, it wasn't Big Tobes. No.
I don't know. Maybe I should know. Maybe it's not my friend. I'm just here.
He's your training partner, bro.
Fuck knows. I probably should know. But either way, good gym. It's busy in terms of the people. Luke's a good coach. Rise, he's got Ryan down there with him as well. Them guys are good. So, man, the work's getting done. And we'll be pummeling heads in. And I can fucking assure you, I won't be kissing no fucking guys at the press conference. Oh, how are you? You good? Yeah, fuck off. I'm gonna knock the fuck out of you tomorrow. Shut up.
Have you got a timeline? Sort of when you would want to be out there? Are they pushing you for any sort of fights or any sort of dates?
we're looking at April times. For me, a lot of it is about like building the foundations of my body. No, I'm not worried about boxing, bro. But fuck me, yeah, they're gonna have it. Even if I win, I'm gonna need a stretcher to take me out of that. I'm telling you, I'll be just cheering on. I'll be like, who was it? Do you remember Theo Walcott against Tottenham when he went?
Oh yeah.
That'll be me. That'll be me walking around the pitch. He'll be like, bro, yeah, fuck off. I'm just walking on the stretcher. But yeah, April times we're looking for and we're training for. But I want to make sure I'm ready at any point. I mean, I feel like as a man you should be able to fight anyway because you never know what's going to happen as a guy. And it's fucking streets of Luton here, mate.
Yeah, man. It gets
You're surprised how many people don't know how to fight though. And then when you go train it, you're actually like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing with combat sports. It makes you like, it kind of strips your ego down a bit because you're like, the guy that looks like he shouldn't be able to stack shelves at Tesco is beating the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, then you're like, well, who can you fight on the street and not? Because now I'm a bit paranoid. I'm looking out for ears and that, like wrestlers' ears. I'm like,
cross the road.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, it kind of strips that ego down a bit. Do you think, obviously you were talking about your training, you trained 7 days a week before, you've tapered the sessions down. Do you think they correlate mental and physical? Like you can't go far with one without the other. I've heard a lot of people speak about it at the minute. They think if you're not physically going to the gym and stuff like that, you won't progress mentally and vice versa.
Yeah, the good thing is with boxing is I really feel like you're naked out there. There's no hiding. On the night, you're going to see who's put in the work and who hasn't. You're going to see who's put in the fitness and who hasn't. You're going to see who's psychologically dealt with it the way they should and who's done the preparation they should. With me, the hardest thing is that I'm not able to train as much as I'd like. That's the hardest thing for me, which is crazy and says a lot about my personality. I'm a fucking animal. And me telling my coach, yo, I have to stop and I have to go because I have to watch my body.
I must kill you.
It's the hardest thing. Because I'm there telling them I'm the hardest working motherfucker you've met in your life. And I'll be in this gym 12 fucking hours. And after half an hour, I'm like, bro, if I do 10 more minutes, my back's gone. I can feel it. It's 1 fucking second away from tearing. So I'm my hardest thing that my coach has made me promise him to do, not my boxing coach, my strength and conditioning coach, is to sleep 8 hours a day. And I've promised him now to sleep 8 hours a day. So I've slept out 8 hours a day probably for the last 2 weeks. It's been the hardest thing in the world.
A straight
But
through
again,
8
that's
hours.
learning more about yourself.
No, go for this one.
That's learning more things about yourself. Sometimes
Yeah,
you
no,
need to
I'm
give
just
your
a
body
crackhead.
rest. Yeah, you're a crackhead for work, but sometimes that work is detrimental to your health.
Yeah.
That's what I learned.
Well, yeah,
You can't keep that intensity because you will start breaking down.
Physically
Yeah.
correct.
You feel good though from it because the intensity. You're obviously a monster. You like feeling that good, but at the same time, you need to just be like, come by.
No, physically you're right. Psychologically, I don't know many people who could do what I did, which was pretty much sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night, and psychologically on top of the world. I was happy as fuck.
You might be a guy that just deals with
never
less sleep.
never tired, feeling good. Obviously, I had my injuries throughout that period, and gym was on and off, and everything was going on. But psychologically, 4 hours sleep, alarm goes off, bang, I'm out of bed.
I don't know how you doing
Jump out of bed every morning. Never did I once lag out of bed or roll, lift the blind, bang, out of bed, shit to do. Funny enough, now it's harder for me to get out of bed after 8 hours.
Yeah. Probably might be too much.
I don't know.
I suppose that's going to be a tested out period.
Yeah,
where-
I made the promise to him. No, I mean, it's a lot of scientific studies saying that at least 8 hours sleep is incredibly good. And with the amount of work I'm doing, I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling pain sitting here, like sitting in the seat right now. I was on the way here, I fucking pulled over on the motorway to get out of my car for like 5 minutes just to actually move and walk, because when my back's in the same position for too long, it goes.
Yeah, you need to get that fixed, man. You need to get be on a mad run.
I need Jesus.
That don't sound good. That does need tweaking.
Fuck, I thought this guy was tight.
No,
man.
I need
Shit.
Florence Nightingale, me.
Benjamin Button over here, man. When it's all said and done for you and you've achieved everything you want to, how does Diego want to be remembered?
I don't think I care. I want to be remembered with a smile on my face as a person, someone who always had a fucking smile on his face, and I want to be remembered as someone who put a smile on other people's faces. I don't really care about anything else. I really don't. I do everything that I do for not only the current family I have now, but my future family as well. God willing, you know, I can have a beautiful family as I wish for. Yeah, I don't really give a fuck, to be fair.
Yeah.
Think what the fuck you want.
Yeah, I love that.
Everyone's always got something different, man. That's what I love.
Yeah, I don't know. Just smiley, good energy, good heart. I think the only thing that I could say maybe touches a insecurity is that people will have seen after enough time that everything I did had good intentions behind it, and I never ever made one action off of a bad intention, because I don't think I do. So that's the only thing I could say. Like, if they could remember that, it would be nice.
It's brilliant. Was there anything else on the
I'm on the
list
touch
before we touch on the last question?
Oh, what's the last question?
Your most euphoric moment in life so far?
So I told you I read, and you think you can use big words around me? Hi, bro.
The chess grandmaster over here, man.
Fucking, I said I can move a queen 2 spaces. Didn't know what fucking words like euphoric.
No,
mean.
euphoric is a moment that sticks out for you. It gives you goosebumps when you think.
No,
of
I
it.
knew that.
Yeah,
Now he's
come on, bro. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
euphoric. So for me, I love euphoricism. So I was euphoric when probably the horse's balls. Actually, yeah.
Milking that horse, man, down by that lake. Them boys get big.
There's a lot of milk actually.
them boys get big.
There's a
man.
bit of a weird one. Most euphoric moment in my life.
We'll say in your life, yeah.
Wow. You should have texted me this before. Not only would have had time to see what euphoric meant, but I'd have had time to think about my answer as well. Most memorable moment in my life. Wow. Wow. For somebody who's had a really interesting life, it's not been so great. I would say one that resonates with me is playing football. Football's always been like my biggest love. That I've had to kind of. It's a complicated relationship with me and football, just like it is with me and the horse. So I'd say playing on a professional football stadium, and did we win something? Yeah, we won the league actually.
Yeah.
I won the league with the team I was playing with under 17s. That was great. That's a bit of a shit one, bro.
Now football is a big one
travelled
because that is that sort of thing, you know. When you score a goal, that's a euphoric feeling. It always kind of.
Yeah, I've travelled the world. I've done crazy things.
What about in your career?
I had a threesome on a cruise.
Yeah,
that was good. That was the
I don't know what's better out of that, scoring a goal. I think I might take the threesome on the cruise.
Of course you would.
That's milking the horse down by the lake.
No,
man.
the horse wasn't involved in the threesome. The horse was the other one. Yeah, that does it as well. Bro, you killed me.
People do get a bit stumped by, but some people have them.
I think it's where it goes back to what you said at the start about my life being so like crazy.
You don't have time to think about it.
I haven't had time to just go, wow, that was amazing. And I have had. If you took an average person's life and gave them my best thing I do every week, every single one of them would be a euphoric moment. See, euphoric rolls off the tongue now. But for me, it's just life.
It's because you're topping yourself every
Life
time you
moves.
go out there.
I'm just a fucking G, really.
But that's what I mean. If you think,
You know what I'm saying?
if you think about the last month, you were in Mexico, come back, Barcelona, come back, Curious Fijian.
Yeah, milking horses. Life's just crazy.
Life's hectic, man. Living life in the
Life's
fast.
crazy.
Quick.
I'm
Euphoric
trying
is
to
a hard one, though, isn't it? It's hard.
I'm trying to think of someone I've worked with, a deal I've signed. Definitely at some point, like the community in the program was big for me.
Maybe one like landmark that kind of
where it, like,
sticks
lets
out
the-
to you.
yeah,
It's
the
like,
hairs.
well, that was a big one. You know, you thought you couldn't get to somewhere, and you're like, oh, I've just sort
It's
of
probably
done
the
this.
football, man.
No.
No.
Chelsea winning the Champions League.
Pete, we have had football ones, to be fair.
Some guy, he's like
scored the free kick
and he's won like,
Euros, wasn't it? That was his most euphoric moment.
and he's a
What was it?
kickboxer. He's won.
Euros
and he's
that
a
we
kick-
lost.
Yeah, and he was a kickboxer, like won by
Won
knockout, titles, everything, and he said it was the fucking Kieran Trippier's free kick.
Fucking Ben.
He loves football. He loves.
Bro, I really want to. Do you know what?
Big up Tom Kurt.
I like Tom.
I think you need to sit down and
Sit with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
some of the good things you've done in
Yeah.
life.
yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, lesson for you, man. Maybe journal some
Yeah,
stuff
100%. Yeah, that last 10 minutes needs to be cut down to 10 seconds. Just me going, horse balls, milk, cruise. Cruise. Yeah.
out. I think you said one to me when we.
If
done
you
the
cut it
interview.
together well, you could probably be like milk horse cruise. Together. And then that would be really
I think when we done the
the
last one in York Hall, I think I asked you the same thing. I think you said it was your dad being proud of you. Something about your dad being proud of you.
Yeah. I did actually. I remember exactly what it was me. Yeah. I can't remember when. I was thinking about it as well because that was one of the biggest moments in my life when, or the very few times that my dad has told me he's proud of me. But I was gonna actually. It's funny because I was gonna say my other one is little things. The way I'm able to go out with my family and pay for dinner and cover things. It just hits me like where
That's
I can.
pretty euphoric.
Yeah, where I can take my mum away
100%.
for her birthday and do A, B, and C.
Put a smile on other
Any
people's
time where I've
faces.
provided for my family is super euphoric for me because I actually grew up with them providing for me. So it's not only like we grew up with nothing and I've been able to provide. It's like the roles have been reversed. I've been able to take positive impacts off of them, and so yeah.
That's brilliant, man. Was there anything we've not sort of touched on that you got coming up, or you wanted to tell people, let people know on?
Yeah, I mean, me and the horse have got some news. We're keeping it quiet for a while.
We're doing OnlyFans.
Hey, I would never let him do that. I would never let him do that. Him, her, she gets milked, all right?
We don't know what it is. He, she, man. They, them.
They, them are not allowed on OnlyFans yet. However, no, we've covered some important stuff. It's been a good chat, and for me, just anyone watching, whether it's one person or 10 people or 1 million people that we can change. I don't even like to push advice to people and tell them do this, do that, but just start asking the question why, like we spoke about. Just ask yourself why you do some things and start attaching some purpose to your life and do more and do better. But yeah,
Love that.
We've
Yeah,
done
no,
it.
thank you for coming
My
on, man.
man.
I really appreciate it. I will link all your stuff down below if there's someone out there that hasn't seen you. I'm sure everyone has seen you.
yeah. If you haven't, you're fucking dead to me.
But thank you for coming on, people. It's been another episode of The Curious Fijian. Make sure you like, subscribe. Go give Diego a follow if you haven't already. And
You want.
peace, people.
You want.